Here's 1st and 10. They're going to motion the tight end over here. And a strong start on the ground. He'll get 7 on the game's first play. Second down and 3. They'll stick with him again. And this is going to be an Eagles first down. He's got this up to the 35.
I think this second down call, Mike, they were hoping that at worst they had themselves set up for a 3rd down and short. But there's no need for 3rd down. He was able to get enough on 2nd, and they get a fresh set of downs.
Ball out to the 35-yard line as they come up for 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. He'll throw it left and has his running back. Call it a gain of 13. First down, Philadelphia.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play. And it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest. And that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there. Recognizing the blitz is just the first step in the process for a quarterback understanding who you can account for with the protection and then who you can't account for. That's where your hot receiver comes in. He points to his receiver who the defender...
Nowhere to go. He's going to be taken down.
If you're going to take a sack, you just can't add to it by taking such a massive loss on top of it. Understand when the pocket breaks down, move up, cut your losses. Now, not only do you lose that down, but now you face a big uphill battle if you want to extend this drive.
Throwing now on 3rd and long. That's over the middle and intercepted. And the Seahawks are going to have it at their own 32-yard line.
So anytime a team suffers an early setback like that interception, human instinct says, Mike, we need to get away from our game plan. We need to adjust. I don't think that's the case. There's a lot of game left, a lot of chances to avenge that play and still connect downfield on some of these passes. All proven, though, Mike, they've got to identify what went wrong, let's correct it so we're able to move forward.
And he'll spin his way forward for a gain of about 4.
They went to the design quarterback run, and there just wasn't a lot of space for the quarterback to operate. You could see him kind of waiting for some of the blocks to develop. Never transpired. Didn't get a whole lot going. Short game.
Here's 2nd and 6. Here's a designed run. And this defense up to the task there. Gain of just 2, and it's 3rd down. Now after the run, we get a stoppage for an injured player. Athletic training staff looking at him, so we'll step aside. They'll come up to 3rd and 3.
Here we go.
Back to throw. He's going to look for the home run ball. And this ball incomplete on 3rd down.
They told us this week they were going to try to come out fast, and tell you what, that's exactly what they did. Put immediate pressure on this secondary and let them know, hey, all game long today, you better defend every blade of grass because we're coming out firing. And even though that ball falls incomplete, it goes a long way in setting up the rest of this game plan as the game unfolds.
First and 10 now from the 36. to throw here to begin the drive. In trouble, and he's going to be taken down.
They just have... On first down, they've got to find a way to continue to operate ahead of the sticks, and I don't mind throwing it on first down. That is the best down in football to attempt a pass, but if they don't protect the passer, none of it's going to matter.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. Now they'll set up to throw. And it's complete to the sideline. Nice job getting both feet down inbounds.
This is why the timing of these routes is so critical. If that ball is thrown a little bit later, he's unable to keep his feet in bounds, but instead the quarterback is on time and accurate, and the receiver does a nice job not only securing the catch, but ensuring that both feet remain in bounds.
3rd and long. They'll look to throw. He'll air it out deep for Wilson. And on 3rd down, that ball incomplete.
This offense has to find a way to be better on 1st and 2nd down, like living in these 3rd and long situations. Must pass is not a recipe that their offensive coordinator wants to operate in.
A fair catch. He's going to call it and take it right around his own 30-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
They'll come up here, 1st and 10. Right away, they'll set up to throw. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield.
Mike, you know what we used to call those plays? No, 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 yes. Because that's exactly what was going through the mind of the coach on the sideline when the quarterback decided to throw that ball into really tight coverage.
The man in motion is Watson. He'll drop to throw. And he'll just get rid of this. Smart play to throw it away, and that'll set up 2nd down.
Nice example there, Mike, of the quarterback just being smart with the ball, understanding it didn't quite develop the way he had intended. Throw that ball out of harm's way, live to play another down.
We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. He'll go left side here and complete this one. Give him 14 on that one. 1st down, Seattle.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Now a handoff. Oh, a wrinkle. Here comes a reverse. And that is going nowhere fast. Disastrous play. A big loss. On play action, he'll set up to throw. Completes this one. That's Christian Watson. And he's out of bounds in great shape down at the 15-yard line. It's a gain there of 26 yards. Line of scrimmage is the 15. It's 1st and 10. To the right side, he's got Hopkinson, his tight end. The Seahawks are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them down to the 1. One quarter in the books here on a Thursday night. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Greg and I back in the Great Northwest in a moment. From the 1-yard line, first down and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he's into the end zone for a touchdown. There is a marker down, but I think this score is going to hold up. Extra point try forthcoming. It's up and through. And the Seahawks will take a 7-0 lead. The kickoff team is out on the field. And we're back to it as the kick's away. This taken in at the 8-yard line. He'll get across the 20, mark him down at the 23-yard line. Set to go now on 1st and 10. They'll begin here on the ground. And nothing doing on that one. He'll go down behind the line.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on first down, but that's exactly the case here.
So after the loss on first, here's 2nd and 14. Here comes the blitz as he looks to throw. To the right side here, pass is caught.
It may not have moved the chains, but with what they were dealing with there on 2nd down, that's a really nice pickup because now it opens up your play call sheet on 3rd down where it's a little bit more manageable.
They'll try and throw for it on 3rd and 1. Open man, left side, he's got it. And the defense can't come up with a stop there. Gain of 7 and a first down.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. But really nice job there by the quarterback, getting into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch.
It is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle, and we just heard it, and that means it's time for football at Lumen Field. Teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. And what is this? They're lining up here to punt on first down. And they'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. So it sails out of bounds close to midfield, and they'll say actually right at midfield. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
Trap 60. 70 range.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. You look at this Eagle defense. And this unit, very tough to throw against. Currently second best in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
Now a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Baker. He's going to go up top again. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, it was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, Baker. All wide open, complete, and all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Seahawks put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend, but you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain. And it's second down.
You talk about this Seahawk defense.
They were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
No matter what coverage was called, they were in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. I mean, they were running the routes with them. Turned out, they were right there on every single ball thrown and came away with 5 interceptions.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10.
And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
Well, just 2 series in here, Charles, but everything's gone to script so far. They got a touchdown on their first drive. Their defense holds, and now they've got a chance to take a 2-score lead.
And to co-sign with you, exactly the start they scripted up. And really, that kind of start, that can set the tone for the game for them.
Here's 2nd and 10.
And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Baker.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be forced out of bounds on the other side of the field.
It's a big play there for Seattle. 57 yards.
And normally when you think about huge field-flipping plays like this, it's that shifty slot receiver or that burner on the outside. Not here. That's a tight end doing work down the field. Where's the oxygen mask? He's going to need it after that one. A big, big play.
What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two.
Brings up second and 11 at the 42-yard line.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11.
Smash, smash. Go street. Set go.
And it doesn't matter who carries it, apparently, as they'll drop him behind the line as well. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays. Backfield, but the best ones can play the run as well, and that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
Back-to-back running plays, putting him in negative territory. What can they do coming up on 3rd and 15?
18 right. 19 tight. 19 tight.
He'll look to throw. Flushed out right.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That is the exact right play call against that defense. So a hat tip to the offensive play caller because he won that part of the chess match. But give credit to his players as well. They won the execution part of it.
Now they'll change things up.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
Go.
Here's Walker.
And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
Ready.
He'll look to throw.
Throw out wide to Walker.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown.
Ken Walker.
His 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Seahawks go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points.
And now a 2-point conversion attempt forthcoming.
Will line up for the 2-point conversion.
They'll look to throw. That is caught. He's got it. And the lead will move to 14-0.
That right there makes up for that missed extra point they had after the first score.
Yeah, they went ahead and got back to level by going for 2 and having the normal amount of points, so that works out pretty well for them. And if you're the kicker, don't worry about it too much. Now they've got back to where they want to be, he'll try it out there for the next one.
And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive.
They'll manage to break a tackle and get this forward for a couple. It'll be second down.
Well, this defense for the Seahawks, much improved from week one. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long, step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for a first.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Out of the gun now on third down.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Pulled in at the 24. 42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here, as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go.
Off the option, he'll try and run with it.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. He'll get 9 yards on the keeper there, but it's still going to leave him with a 3rd and 1.
A little do-it-yourself run right there, and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
They'll try for the first with Walker.
It's a gain of a yard, and the Seahawks are going to have a first down.
The Seahawks are 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate the always tough NFL.
This is caught inside the 15. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there. 64 yards.
And the Seahawks take a 3-touchdown lead.
This time, the extra point up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. If they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
2nd and 10.
Looking to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. They're going to look to throw.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
Fielded just inside the 20. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. How about a 39-yard pickup? They'll take it. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Joey Porter Jr. And the Eagles are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
Well, he's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness, it's been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And his throw here is incomplete.
That's now 6 dropbacks, 6 incompletions. Yeah, the defense has been pretty good early, but he's got to start hitting some of those throws. He's making them better than what they actually are.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Little. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Philadelphia.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted.
And the Seahawks are going to get the football here at their own 23.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
2nd and 5. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. And that is incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Looking up into the lights, and he muffs it.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because you can. It's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
And they'll send Watson in motion right.
Man open left side. It's his running back with it. And he's finally taken down, but not before he reaches the 14. It's a big play there for Seattle. 43 yards.
This offense is looking very comfortable here in this first half. Very relaxed, very smooth, very efficient. No wasted motions. Things are definitely going their way, and they continue to move the ball downfield.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. He can only get a yard after all that. It's 2nd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is because you got to get his attention because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
2nd and 9 now. This will be caught at about the 6. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown.
Christian Watson
from 13 yards out.
And the Seahawks are able to add on to their first half lead.
Now the extra point. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
Well, things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit, right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
The Eagles send out their punter now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
Warriors 70. Trap 60. Trap 60.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field.
That is incomplete.
Quality coverage that time to slow down what's been the main source of offense against them thus far. Got to find a way to slow down that ball in the air.
They'll throw now on the final play. Flush to his right. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway.
And that's going to skip into the end zone for a touchback.
And what is going on here? Are they serious? First down, and they're in punt formation. Yeah, this is a high kick, but it's not going anywhere. Now a fair catch taken just across midfield, maybe by a yard or two. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
Alert! Alert! Hey! Hey! Check that! Check that! Unlock Ryan! Unlock Ryan! Hey, smash!
In motion goes the tight end.
Hut, hut!